Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Future Wealth. Today we're looking into Coupang, a Korean Amazon, Alibaba type of e-commerce, very popular in South Korea, and we're just gonna dig into it a little more details to see what it is and how it's different from everyone else apparently in that same space. Here, Wikipedia, it was founded in 2010 by Bon Kim. He is a Harvard dropout. Here is another Harvard dropout. So apparently if you drop out of Harvard, you have a chance of becoming a billionaire than if you were to graduate from Harvard. At least that's just a joke, guys. I don't know. I never remotely even been accepted to Harvard or even stepped foot in Harvard or even considered going to Harvard because I just can't afford it, right? But totally sidetracked from that. So there is not a lot of history here. You can see, I mean, even though it went public recently, there were some news facing some, critics about their work habits, and apparently there were deaths in the company related to, I think, being overworked. So this article here is 12 leading up to a driver's death. He had worked an average of around 40 hours per week and had been on vacation for a week at the time of his death. Statement: the company said it was cooperating with authorities to determine the cause of death and called on media to refrain from reporting unverified claims about how the driver died. Coupang will work harder to protect the health and safety of his workers, the statement said. I followed Reddit as well, and there was people commenting about the work conditions in South Korea in regards to this particular company and how people are just overworked. Because of that, they have health conditions. That leads to obviously articles like this about death, right? But then they don't know the cause of it. And I'm looking a little deeper as I'm saying all that. In February, the commission ruled that Jang's, the person who passed away, death was related to his work and found that contrary to Coupang's claim, he had worked an average of 58 hours per week in the 12 weeks before his death. Stress, overworked, that's all a fact. Mental health, physical health takes a toll on people. This article was before, actually it was released on the same day as it went IPO. Go figure. So I guess articles like this are resurfacing, or, it actually happened at the time while it's trying to go IPO. But that didn't stop this gentleman from being a billionaire overnight. Here you see him with Jessica Alba. I don't know what she's promoting there, but obviously she seems to have a product line there as well. The company itself has been growing, and for them to be compared to Amazon and Alibaba, that's pretty big. I'm more than happy for this gentleman, but obviously if they have working conditions where people are actually overworked because they're trying to promise and deliver things on time, that's unfortunately, I don't know what South Korean work habits are, not habits, but like what their laws are in regards to. I think right now, a lot of places are trying to adopt like a safety and a minimum work hour or maximum work hours per week, right? Because you can't overwork the people. In that case, if you do and there's no laws against it, then employees feel like they're obligated to continue working because they don't want to lose their job. That's sort of like enslaving people, dangling that carrot on a stick to them and saying, if you don't do this, you're not gonna make it anymore. You're not gonna get financially stable, you're not gonna get a paycheck, and then you're pretty much screwed, right? So that's pretty unfortunate. So I'm not too sure how that's going to be treated, but that did not stop Kim from being a billionaire overnight, or at least within this week. Let's see. Shares in the company surged when they began trading, valuing the Harvard Business School dropout stake at more than $8.6 billion. My goodness. Here we have the website of what it would look like if you were to order or surf or shop around on Coupang's website. It is a company has been registered in Delaware, out of all places. It's a South Korean company registered in Delaware. So I'm not sure how that even begins to work. Is this for tax purposes or just to establish maybe possibility a presence in the United States, since it is IPO and they're trying to push over, and maybe it'll be a competition in regards to Amazon? I don't know. Maybe, right? Anything's possible because Amazon has been in the game for a long time. It's always due for someone to step up and challenge. There's always a challenger. No matter how fast you run in the Olympics, how fast you swim, there's always going to be a new challenger and there's always going to be a new gold medalist. All right? Let's just put it that way. There's going to be one that wins consecutively for years, which Amazon has done. And who knows? Alibaba stepped up to that plate at one time. I believe back in 2014 when it went public. I just need to verify. I heard that. Alibaba, when did it go public? Sorry, I had typed. Yeah, 2014. That was actually right. Wow, I was surprised. Maybe it's time. It's 2021 and Alibaba kind of delivered. They did deliver. Jack Ma is a billionaire himself now. Of course, we don't hear much about him as much as we used to because the whole China situation. I don't know. I mean, this website, honestly, in my opinion, does it look like Amazon? I can't tell. Actually, before I go on to Amazon's website, this is Coupang, currently trading today $47.04. Market cap at 85 billion, which is wow, right? Since Thursday. So that was yesterday. Today's actually Friday. So since Thursday, it's valued at 85 billion at the market cap already. So let's see what the highest, have a better visibility here. So yesterday, since it was only yesterday, obviously 61.88 was the high. Wow, it dropped good amount. Maybe the articles about the whole scrutiny about this is resurfacing or surfacing to the point where people are, hey, what's going on? I don't like this whole working people to death kind of thing. Like I said in Reddit, I did read about people saying that in Korea, they were boycotting this because of those bad working conditions. I haven't found any articles, but it was just people commenting on Reddit, right? And they didn't really link anything specific. But then, of course, you have verified articles like this that states that there was incidents happening in South Korea in regards to Coupang. Oh, another article from here. Is it New York listing clouded by workers' death? So there is some, news going around it. I don't know if that's and it's reflecting on the prices today because it takes time for people to analyze the news and read it and then finally catch up on it and say, hey, what's going on, right? So, all right, let's keep on going really quickly. I don't want to take up too much of your time because it's just me really evaluating what Coupang is, and I'm going to really give you my 2 cents and say, is it a yay or nay kind of a investment, right? Because we can't go by any financials. There's no financials. There's no history. There's nothing here. I can't go by any of this. All the stuff that I've been studying with dividends and evaluating stocks and trying to understand worksheets, financials, like the balance sheets and the cash flow. It's horrible numbers. There's no numbers. Everything is in the negative so far. I shouldn't say everything's in the negative. They are generating revenue, but I'm saying they're starting. And I can't really go by 1 year's worth of data, or I don't think anyone can really, right? Because at this point, if you were to invest in Coupang, there's nothing I can go by. Although their cash flow, they have data from here, you can see a little later, but free cash flow, everything's in a negative. I can't. How do you value that accordingly to what you see as far as what they have money-wise? They don't have anything. Do they have anything? I don't think they have anything. I'll go back. Anyway, free cash flow. Do they have the free cash flow? Let's expand all. Never before have I ever clicked on expand all until I started studying every ticker in detail. Free cash flow. Yeah, everything's in the negative. It's hard for me to put money into something that hasn't been generating money yet. Would it be too late by the time they figure out that they're generating money and people are actually excited that they're going to invest in it? I don't know, maybe. But then at least you have a real evaluation of, is it a good buy or not? Because right now, if you buy, it could drop even lower. The way I see it right now, if you were to invest in it right now and it drops lower, then at that point, you know that you should have expected it because it's in the negative cash flow, right? Because it's not going to be producing anything for this year, at least in my opinion. Okay, so here's Amazon. Is there similarities? I don't know. Maybe. It looks very 90s. I mean, Amazon has that 90s feel as well, but it's so advanced now with this whole modern, like everything is clickable on the page where it used to just lay out all the details of each word in the categories. So let's look at Alibaba for a second. I guess they took similar Ali kind of style. So here's my thing with Coupang. They claim to do dropship stuff really fast, whatever. Fine. But how much of this stuff is actually produced in Korea opposed to being produced in China, right? So if they're waiting for stuff in China, why wouldn't I just go to Alibaba? Is it because it's in Korean and I live in South Korea and I understand it, but everyone has an English translation, which is fine. But it's not like boomers. Are boomers ordering stuff online now in South Korea? I don't know. I would figure it's the new generation, like the millennials and the X and so on and so forth, but not going backwards. Going forward, yes. So why Coupang being, and the demographics for Coupang, South Korea is a lot smaller than China, right? So if we pull up map, give them the benefit of the doubt that every square inch of South Korea there's someone there that may potentially order from Coupang, right? Now you can see, like, we're not even including, actually no, we're including all the farmland as, livable space now. So that's the size of South Korea. All right, so now let's bring in a map of China. That's a huge difference, right? You guys can see that? I don't know, maybe let's close out of that. Here's China and India. Well, they're all connected, right? They're connected. Okay, we'll put it in comparison. There you go. This is China, right? Let's just take size. When I mean counting farmland and rivers and lakes and whatever, size, China. Even if Alibaba had 1% of China's population ordering from Alibaba, that is a significant amount. Would that be equivalent to, look at this, 1%. 1% would be like what, right? Like this is all China, and this is South Korea, and this is tiny in comparison. Like South Korea is probably like the size of, it's not small, but in comparison, it's small. So the percentage of people using South Korean going on Coupang, is it not even all of Korea? Is North Korea using Coupang? I don't know. North Korea. Does North Korea use Coupang? Probably not. I don't think so. I'm sure North Korea has its own. Can foreign use Coupang? Doesn't mention anything about North Korea. I highly doubt it, right? Because there's a lot of tension between the two for them to share similar. I don't think so. I think the United States search engine is going to be a little biased. I will have to turn on my NordVPN in order to get that real answer. I'll have to go in as probably select North Korea if there was a VPN server there and try to do a search. Can I use Coupang, right? So guys, I wouldn't say Coupang is a buy or not, but in my opinion, my right now, it's probably not. If you have hope for something like this, great. But I honestly, so many things are so overvalued right now. And I think this is another one. You look at their prices. Even though Alibaba has been around for the X amount of years, 2014, if so they say that they're equivalent to Amazon, I highly doubt Coupang's going to, because they are not Amazon, they are not going to hit 3,000 per share. You have to be in that game for a long time in order to hit that, right? And I don't think it's going to happen overnight. Look at Alibaba. Since 2014, 2014 till now, founded in 1999, when it went public to now, it's at 230. There's no dividends. Did it ever split Baba stock? I don't know. I never see e-commerce site coming on and saying it's worth the evaluation that is worth now, based on the fact that they don't own anything. But then again, Amazon, they were the pioneers, right? So, but Amazon is just not Amazon. Amazon has Fire, they have the Kindle, they have Ring. Coupang doesn't have any of that. At least not that I know of, unless it has something else that I don't know of. But I haven't seen anything. But I know Amazon has different avenues of products, not just reselling and people on there selling their goods. My opinion, I don't think Coupang is a buy. That's just my opinion. You can do what you please. You can try to time it and make some money off of this, but I can't foresee it being a long-term hold. And even if I was to consider Coupang, it would need to really be existing for some amount of time for it to value correctly. I would not jump onto the speculation of thinking that it would, get 30% increase by year's end, or some really very high number in returns. Thank you guys for watching. I know I spoke a lot about this, but it's a company that we needed to understand, and I didn't have any history to go by. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys again for joining me. See you again soon. Bye.